While we're on the topic of pitching, though, there was an interesting article that came out yesterday about velocity and injuries. And I know this is something that we've talked about on this show plenty of times. But now that there's been a study, can you tell us a little bit more about it and what you thought?
Yes, Major League Baseball actually did a study, like finally getting involved with the game and trying to figure out some of our issues with Major League Baseball. So they did a study looking at basically arm injuries and what is causing this rise in arm injuries, even if it was a rise. And they came to a couple big conclusions. One is chase and velocity. Two is chasing stuff. So constantly basically trying to make the better slider, better curveball, better, best fastball, spin rate and all that stuff. They do mention some other things. They did bring up weighted balls a little bit. They brought up training and training techniques. And they also brought up in some workload management stuff, but also the big one was going out there every single pitch and trying to throw with everything you have every single pitch. There's a couple issues I had with this study. The things I don't like about it. It sounded like they interviewed a whole lot of trainers and pitching coaches and interviewed a bunch of people. It sounded like a whole lot of, well, we need these guys to stop throwing so hard is the answer. And it kind of points a lot of fingers and doesn't actually come up with solutions. And I guess the only solution they had was Rob Manfred's idea of making these guys pitch 6 innings, whatever, like bringing out how important starting pitcher is. But it's like you need to stop doing like powerlifting. You need to start long distance running again. Stop lifting so hard. Stop pitching so hard. Stop trying to throw really good sliders. That's wonderful, great and grand. But like, James, you tell me, like, if their number one thing is chasing velocity and chasing stuff, do you really think in any possible way the radar gun's going to go anywhere in the game? Like the radar gun, the pitch devices in the stadiums where they're showing spin rate, vertical movement, horizontal movement on every single pitch. I was in the front office, and this is what I do for a living. Every pitch these guys are throw is evaluated based on their stuff. Every single pitch. And that's the biggest problem is every pitch in the big leagues is evaluated on your stuff. So now every minor leaguer knows, like, to get to the big leagues, you're evaluated on your stuff. And then every amateur player knows to get to the minor leagues, to get drafted, you're evaluated on your stuff and how hard you throw. And it constantly goes down this line. Unless we're going to magically like snap our fingers and get rid of the radar gun, get rid of these pitching devices, nothing's going to change. Adding one more inning to these guys' workload isn't going to make them train any different or stop trying to throw hard. It's just they're going to try to throw harder for one more inning and then get hurt even more. So you have to do two things. If you want me to change, if you want to change all this, completely get rid of radar guns. But the biggest problem with that, we know hitting and their average and home runs and everything goes down when you throw harder. The harder you throw, the harder it is to hit, and that will never change.